Hey Frag fam, today we're going to be talking about the classic men's fragrance of the house of Givenchy, the 1974 fragrance. It is the original Gentleman. Let's talk about it. All right, John here from Proverbs 27:9 Fragrances. Like I said, today we're going to be talking about Givenchy Gentleman. If you would go ahead and make sure you're subscribed to the channel, like the video, and turn those notifications on. That way you're notified every time we upload this sweet smelling fragrance related content. All right, lately I've been really getting into the more classic old school fragrances. You know me, I don't like a real mossy funk, but it has been burdening me less than it used to. Sometimes it comes across almost urine-esque, things of that nature. But and this was one of those fragrances that maybe a couple years ago I wouldn't have been as much into, although I did smell it at a Perfume Mania, this actual bottle here, and then went home and bought it, got the new updated version, and didn't like it. And I couldn't remember what this one smelled like, but I remember thinking that doesn't smell like what I smelled in the store. Now that was several years ago, probably 4 or 5 years ago, and it was before I really understood the differences, and you got to look at the year of the release and all that. I just saw the name, thought it was the same thing in a different bottle, whatever. But the original Eau de Toilette Gentleman by Givenchy, again, the 1974 release, listed as a woody aromatic, and I think that's a good classification for it. The nose behind this fragrance was Paul Ledger, and this is a classic, again, gentleman's fragrance. Of course, it is the premier gentleman's fragrance, but soapy, clean. It's a barber shop style fragrance, but somehow it does it without having any lavender at all listed. So what you're going to get when you first spray this fragrance is you get a little bit of citrus, kind of sweeten it at the top, but you're going to get loads of this chocolatey, earthy patchouli, some honey, and then there is kind of a bitter anise type of note. And I think anise is not listed. When I looked up kind of the different notes, I think that's coming from the tarragon. Let me go over the note breakdown. In the top, you've got honey, cinnamon, rose, tarragon, bergamot, and lemon. That's your citrus, and that's your sweet and your bitter, all from those right there. In the mid, you've got patchouli, cedar, orris root, which is the root of the iris plant, and then jasmine. And in the base, again, patchouli, leather, civet, oak moss, vetiver musk, amber, and vanilla. And so this fragrance comes across, again, soapy, leathery, a little bit sweet, a little bit bitter, but this is a patchouli bomb. If you don't like patchouli, you will not like this fragrance. And again, patchouli kind of smells like a little bit of an earthy, rooty wood with some chocolate nuances. I really do enjoy patchouli in fragrances, but this fragrance has loads of it, and I'm so surprised how they were able to get this to smell like barbershop foam, and yet they don't have lavender listed. The only florals listed again was rose and jasmine, and if you want to count the orris root. So this is not a heavy floral fragrance. The florals are kind of in there just to add some layers and some depth to it. The civet note, don't let that bother you. This fragrance does not come across like with that urine, type of feel that a lot of the older classic fragrances does. Um, but again, it's that combination of the honey and the leather, the patchouli, and I guess the oak moss that really gives us this bold, robust, classic masculine vibe. This smells like masculinity in a bottle. Um, I would compare it to Boss Number One by Hugo Boss. Um, I would compare it to things, like, to me, this is so much better than Dracar Noir. Um, Even things that I like, uh, you know, Zeno by Davidoff, Z14 by Halston, those, kind of classic 70s and 80s fougere type fragrances. What it smells more like to me is if you've ever had Armani, what was that? Eau pour Armani or whatever. I'll try to pop up a picture of that one. Armani Eau pour Homme, I think was maybe the name of it. The vanilla and the amber really comes out later on and gives it this kind of warm, robust, nuance as well. So with the cinnamon and everything, this is really a 3-season fragrance: spring, fall, winter. Good office fragrance, good out of the shower fragrance. I mean, it's clean, but yet rugged. High heat of the summer, you might want to lay off, because projection wise, this thing is beast mode. Somebody says, well, what is it? Arm's reach? No, you can smell this across the room. Longevity, beast mode. And I'm talking about this. Now, this, I didn't look up my bottle to see what the batch code. The batch code on this is 3801. Here's the box. So I'm not sure how old this is. I would say it's probably not brand new, but I don't think it's like an old vintage batch. So if you get a newer bottle, as long as it's the original, it still has beast mode performance. Sillage is awesome. You're going to leave a scent trail. And again, you're going to smell great. If you spray this right on your hand and get into it, you're going to get that bitterness. But as you're just wearing it and it's wafting in the air, absolutely fantastic. So I love this fragrance. Definitely, probably, I would say it's in my top 5 favorite classic gentleman's fragrances of all time. Let me know in the comments what you think about this fragrance. Till we see you down the road, I say God bless. Frag on, frag fam.